Alright guys, so before I start the video, I just want to get a couple of things out of the way. So really quickly, I just wanted to say thank you guys because I recently just hit 300,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I never thought I could ever reach a milestone this high, so thanks guys for proving me wrong. Like, that's a crazy amount of people that are subscribed to my channel, and I'm super grateful for all of you. And secondly, I never made this channel for the purpose of getting views or anything like that. The purpose I created this channel was to teach card tricks to people like you so that you guys could get a broad repertoire of some really awesome card tricks. So yeah, just thanks guys so much for supporting the channel. And because this is a special video, I just wanted to teach you guys one of my all-time favorite card tricks called Nathan's Live Speller. This is by far my all-time favorite, like, go-to effect. If someone says, hey, can you show me a trick? This is the trick I would show them because it's so powerful, and this is like the first card trick that I think of when I think of a card trick because of how powerful it is. Since this is a special video, I was thinking of using this deck, but I don't know, it's a little bit boring, so I'm actually gonna put this deck away. And because this is a special video, I wanted to use a little bit more of a special deck. So here, let's bring it out. 3, 2, 1. That's right, guys. I recently got the Star Wars Theory 11 playing cards. Now this is only one of them. This is the dark side, or the red pack of cards. But as you guys can see, this is the box. Looks absolutely amazing. If you are curious, yes, I do own the other version. I do own the blue cards as well. And if you guys want me to do a deck collection video, leave a comment down below and I will for sure do a deck collection video very soon. But without further ado, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the trick Nathan's Live Speller using the Star Wars playing cards. If you guys want to see a performance of Nathan's Live Speller, if you guys have never seen this trick before, I would recommend clicking up here and then you guys will be able to watch the performance. So be sure to do that if you have not already. But without further ado, let's get right into how the trick is done. So this is a completely impromptu trick, meaning that the spectator can completely shuffle the deck. There's no order to the deck or anything. You can completely mix up the cards. So once the deck is completely mixed up by the spectator, this is how you're going to begin. The spectator is going to hand the deck back to you, and all you're going to be doing is making a quick little prediction. As you saw in the performance, I go through the deck to myself like this, and I'm gonna pull out a certain card to place on the table. That's basically what's going to be happening. Technically, the card that you place on the table, it can be any card, but I would recommend 4 options. I would recommend either 2 of the black 9s, so you could do the 9 of spades or the 9 of clubs, or you could either do the black 8s. So you could either do the 8 of clubs or the 8 of spades. Either one would work. I'll get into the reason why a little bit later, but for now, let's just go ahead and pull out one of the 8s, for example. So I'm gonna pull out the 8 of clubs, and this is gonna be my secret prediction, and I'm not gonna show the spectator this card yet. So all I'm gonna do is take this card and set it on the table. At the same time I'm looking for my prediction, I'm also going to be looking for the other black 8. So I'm going to look for that 8 of spades also. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange the cards. I'm just going to cut the cards so that card will end up 4th from the top. So that card is now 1, 2, 3, 4 from the top. And how you do that is you just find the 8 of spades and then you count 3 cards on top of it. So let's see, where's the 8 of spades? I already passed it somewhere. Here it is, the 8 of spades. I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3 cards, break them here and give them a cut. And that will place the 8, 1, 2, 3, 4 from the top of the deck. So once the card is 4th from the top, you're going to be performing a spread force or a Cole force like this. So what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna spread through the cards and you're going to push off the 4th card, and then you're gonna place your thumb on top of the 3rd card, and your fingers will go right on that 8. And your fingers are going to slide that card right underneath until you feel it click. It's gonna go click right there underneath the entire deck. And once it's underneath the deck, your fingers are just sort of holding it on its own. Like the card is in this position here. Your fingers are just holding onto it separately from the deck. You're gonna spread through the cards and have the spectator touch any card. They can touch any card. Let's say they touch this card. All you're gonna do is break the cards in your hand like this, and that 8, what you're gonna do is you're gonna tap the deck like this, and you're gonna square up all the cards, and that 8 that you were culling is now going to be on the bottom of the pack. And once you tap the cards, you're gonna re-spread them out and hand the spectator the bottom card of the pack. And at full speed, it just looks like you're handing them the card that they stopped at. So let's put that card back in the 4th position. This is what it looks like at full speed. So I'm gonna have the spectator go ahead and touch any card. let's say they touch this one over here, can you just hold out your hand? And then they would go ahead and take a look at the card. And this is going to be your force card. You're gonna force the black 8. Now, once the spectator is looking at the card, you're gonna say, okay, I don't wanna look at it. And as you look away, you're going to count 3, 6, 9, 12 cards from the top of the deck, and then you're gonna hold a pinky break just like this. And now you're gonna be performing a bluff pass with these 12 cards with your break. And a bluff pass basically means you're gonna have the spectator call out stop anywhere they want to. Let's say they say stop right there. You're going to actually break off the cards from the pinky break, and you're gonna let go with this thumb. So you're gonna let go with the thumb, and you're only gonna lift up the 12 cards from the top. And you're gonna angle your hand down so the spectator can't really tell how many cards you're lifting up, because to them, it's just gonna look like you're lifting up about half the deck, but in reality, you're only lifting 12 cards. So once you do that, the spectator is gonna take the card and place it down, and then you're just gonna drop the cards on top. And what that does is it places the 8 in the 13th position from the top of the deck, and that is the exact position you need to perform the next part of the trick. So at this point, you're going to have the spectator name any card in the deck that is different from their selection. So they can name a completely random card, and the reason that we're gonna do this is we're gonna try and use this random card to find their actual selection. So at this point, they can name any card, and what's gonna happen is once they name a card, you're going to spell the name of that random card, and it's going to land on that 8 of spades no matter what. Now the method for doing this, it's pretty similar to Harry Lorraine's controlled spelling, if you've heard of that before, but it's not exactly the same because you're not actually spelling to the random card, and then the card that you spell to is going to be that random card. The card that you spell to is going to be different. Like for example, if the spectator named the Queen of Clubs, you're going to be spelling Queen of Clubs, but the card that you reveal is not going to be the Queen of Clubs. It's going to be a different card. That's why it's a little bit different. But the mechanics of how it works are pretty simple. So the card is in the 13th position, and basically you can spell any card that you want to. You just kind of have to do some mental calculations in order to get it exactly to land on the 8 of spades. But you can really spell any card, and it will work. So for example, let's just say a random card like the 9 of hearts, for example. So you just have to do some mental calculations in your head. You just have to count how many letters are in that word, 9 of hearts. Some little shortcuts. The word of is 2 letters, so you just do that instantly. So that's 2 letters already. All the suits, clubs are 5 letters, hearts and spades are 6 letters, and then diamonds can either be diamond without the S is 7, diamonds with the S is 8 letters. So those are just some quick little shortcuts to help you guys get it a little bit quicker. But let's say the 9 of hearts, so that would actually have to be 12 letters, and that would be perfect. So all you do is you spell 9 of hearts, Nineofhearts, and that's 12 letters, which means that the next card will be the 13th card, will be the spectator selection. So once you do that, you're just gonna take this card and set it on the table, but you're not gonna show the spectator what the card is. You're actually gonna have the spectator flip over the card themselves. So you're gonna ask the spectator what was the card that they selected, and they're gonna say the 8 of spades, and they're gonna turn it over and have a little bit of a freak out moment, because that's impossible right there. And as they're freaking out, what you're gonna do is spread through the deck and look for the card that they just named. So the 9 of hearts is the card that they named. All you're gonna do is just cut that card to the top, or you can cull it to the top as well. So you can do the exact same method that you did in the force. You just cull that card to the top, and then you can square it up just like this. And now that card is on the top. And at this point, all you need to do is take the card, their selection from the table or from their hands, and say, yeah, that's amazing. But remember, we did place one card here on the table. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn your body to show the prediction. And as you turn your body, you're gonna perform a top change, which looks something like that. So you're gonna push off the top card and lift up your fingers a little bit here from the 8 of spades so that you can actually grab that card from underneath. Your thumb is gonna clamp down on this top card here, and then your thumb is gonna slide that card to square it up with the rest of the deck. So just like this, you're gonna switch out the card, so that's gonna be the 9 of hearts now. In full speed, it looks something like this. So as you can see over here, we actually have a prediction that I've made on the table over here since the beginning of the trick. And now you're gonna do what's called a Mexican turnover. So you're going to reveal this card by placing your finger on the top left corner. It's gonna push the card up from the table on the bottom right-hand side here. You're gonna slide the card in your hand underneath the card. Your thumb is gonna go on top, and all you're gonna do is turn your hand over and just slide the cards like this. So you're gonna turn your hand over, slide the card, and then leave this card, the 9 of hearts, on the table. And this card, you're just gonna kind of cover up with your hand. You don't wanna show the spectator this card because all the attention will be here on this card. But this card is going to get just kind of taken away, and you can just place it on top of the deck or in your pocket or whatever. And that would be the end of the trick right there. So the reason why you force the 8 of spades or the 8 of clubs or the 9 of spades or the 9 of clubs is because these cards look very, very similar, as you can see. Spades and clubs, they don't look exactly the same, but at a very, very just quick glance, if you're not really paying attention, they really can look like the exact same card. So that's why I use those cards rather than the aces or something, because they only have one giant pip in the middle, and that would be very easy to spot. But here there's a ton of suits and your eyes get kind of confused if you're moving it pretty quickly. Like if I just do this, like you can't really tell that these are two different cards, and that's what the spectator is going to be seeing, because when you do this Mexican turnover, the whole point is to just look like you're taking their selection and turning over the card on the table, but this is actually the card that was on the table the entire time. So that's why it just looks very natural for you. So that's basically the entire trick, guys. But the hardest part of this trick is obviously just the spelling part. So it just requires a lot of practice and a lot of mental calculations. But once you get it down, it's actually pretty simple. You just have to find your own little shortcuts. Just go through every single card in the deck and work out how you would spell to it. And you don't want to stumble in your performance. You don't want to make it obvious that you're counting letters or something like that. You just want to practice this trick so you can be as natural as possible, and then you won't have to, awkwardly pause during performance, and you can just keep talking, but you can still do the mental math in your head. And then once you can do that, you guys are pretty much set to perform this trick anytime, anywhere with a borrowed deck of cards. So yeah, guys, that is the entire trick. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. If you guys want me to do a deck collection video, I will probably make an updated one very soon. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that, and see you guys next time. Bye.
Well, I didn't see that coming.